Well, there was a time when he had over 200 switchblades. He collected them when we've traveled, well, to every country that he went, he had to buy a switchblade or two or three or four. And then the roadies would smuggle it in for him into the country and give it to him when we'd get back to the States when he went to rehearsal. So he always had a lot of switchblades. But the thing that bothered me about that was when he would play with it and when he was high or whatever. And I was afraid he'd get hurt, or sometimes he was depressed, and, they were always around. He also had nunchucks, and he would walk around the house flipping these nunchucks around, and I thought he was going to, kill himself one day, Or me. He was a Bruce Lee fan. He had boxes of Soldier of Fortune magazines, and he would read them nonstop. This was his thing. So after we broke up, I think we had about over 200 Soldier of Fortune magazines in a box, and I just threw them out. I had no more use for that. Neither was he. So he was a big collector. He liked to collect things in Germany, and he just loved it. Even as a child, when he lived in Berlin and he was 15, he would, go through all the bunkers and stuff that were left, and he would, find these old army things that were left over. So he really liked that. He was actually born in Virginia. And then when he was about 2, his father was in the army. So his father got stationed in Japan. So they lived there for a while, and then he got transferred over to Germany. And he spent a majority of his youth, till about 15, in Berlin. So he spoke 2 languages, and he was interested in music there, and he loved the London scene in the 60s, and the mod stuff, and the clothing, and the music. So he was pretty, fashionable and into a lot of different things during that young age.
So he spoke German also?
Yes, he did.
That is wild, because nobody really knows that. And I saw an interview where I could have swore they were speaking German to him, and he was speaking German back.
Yes, he was. And he even did a song on his solo album called German Boy. And he rapped in German on that.
The infamous Dee Dee King.
Yes.
But did he speak German fluently?
Yes, he did. But he only spoke to his mother and his grandmother because nobody else spoke German. So he would talk to his mother when we went to her house or whatever and talked in German. Then when his grandma came to visit, he'd speak in German to her. And that was basically it. Nobody else spoke German that we knew.
That is very interesting. That's something I did not know before.
Mm.
I thought that somebody actually voiced over his voice.
No. He spoke German, fluent German.
Yeah.
And he could read and write also.
Uh-huh.
Because when he went to the school over there, it was a bilingual school where you learned, English and American, and you learned German in Germany, German culture, history.